Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Finger Guns Podcast with Tony, Dave, and Jay. I really wanted to see how long I could keep that going. That's pretty Tony good. Made me laugh. God damn it. I am Jimmy, and I'm here as always with
Big Tasty Tony.
Hell yeah, and
Dave Baldwin.
Gross. That was vile.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. This podcast.
It's a good one.
Fuck yeah.
Hooked Dave.
I just found out about that this morning.
Lord help
People
me.
were talking about it last night like it's been around for like 2 weeks. It's been around for a while.
I feel late to the party. 5 days, but yeah.
It's going to be funny when we listen to this in like a month and we're just like, what the hell was that?
What the fuck did he just do?
Classic.
I had to.
We're making core memories, boys.
Yeah. I don't know where to go with that. So
I just hope her parents are proud of her.
They probably are.
Because I know my parents are proud of me.
Yeah. Well, that also assumes that your dad listens to this podcast.
That's true.
Chances are. But your mom, I'm gonna make sure she knows. Sure she knows she raised a nasty little boy.
Yeah. Thanks,
gross
James.
little.
Thanks,
boy.
James. Thank you.
You're welcome. We got a regular episode for you all tonight. We got a lot of movies to talk about.
We're back on our bullshit.
Mostly. We're mostly back on our bullshit. I think we have a little bit of a longer main point to get to tonight. But we got some things to recommend to you, some things to maybe avoid, and a whole breakdown of an entire studio in the middle. Spoilers.
Sounds like a good time. It sounds like a good time.
Let's get into it then. Yeah, so we weren't here last week.
Yeah, we took a week off because James was busy.
Sorry. Well, it wasn't even just that I was busy. It was just that the days that I was free on, Tony was busy.
We just couldn't make it. We couldn't make it work.
It just couldn't happen. We had big scheduling conflicts last week.
Good thing we're our own bosses.
Absolutely. And we're not beholden to anybody because nobody sponsors this podcast. So we can do whatever we want.
Yet.
But until then, I'm going to take this flexibility in stride and really lean into it. So we decided we'd come back and give you 2 episodes in 1 week.
Yes. And if you didn't hear it, we also have an interview up that James and I did with Neil Diamond and Catherine Bainbridge.
Not that Neil Diamond.
Of the directors of Red Fever, which is still in select theaters right now. Yep. So if you have a chance, you should definitely go out and see it.
Yes. Yeah, I'll talk about the documentary
right now.
Right now. You want me to just get right into it?
Get right into it, James.
So Neil Diamond and Catherine Bainbridge, who were very lovely to interview. We sorry that you missed it, Tony. We'll fill you in slightly here, but it was supposed to be a half an hour interview that turned into almost an entire hour long podcast episode.
Fucking love that.
In the middle of it, not to get a little meta, but I had a full blown power outage at my house in the middle of it. Of all the fucking times I am mid recording, it was 12:29 and that's when all of the power went out at my house.
What?
I lost all of it and I was like, holy fuck. The recording's gone. I was the one doing the Zoom recording too. So like both of the recordings that I had redundancies in place gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck, I don't know what I'm coming back into. I don't understand how this happened. I'm taking it as an act of benevolence from the universe.
Yeah.
Neil was passing it over to Catherine to start an anecdote. That is exactly where my power outage hit. And that is also exactly where both Zoom and my backup recording thing just stopped and cut and saved. And it was like a perfect ending. And then when Dave picked it up on his end, because he came in and saved my bacon after I disappeared from the Zoom interview,
love that.
It ended up working out perfectly. Like I could not have been timed better. We lost literally nothing. So just big ups to whatever benevolent force in the universe decided that was how things were going to go that day. But it was an awesome conversation. The documentary itself
and Allie at Route 504.
Oh yes, please. Allie has been great to us ever since.
Ever
She's
always been great.
She's been amazing. And I know both of you watched the actual documentary.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
I saw this one at Hot Docs.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. I just wanted to give her a shout out just because she deserves it. But
Yeah.
Red Fever James.
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to sneak it into my schedule while I was trying to get through all the Hot Doc stuff. And also you two had seen it, so I think that's probably why I went, okay, that's fine. But definitely
we assigned you some other movies.
Yes, but definitely to make sure that I was ready for the interview, I definitely watched it. And I found it fascinating in so many ways. There was a lot of moments that I was sitting there like, I did not know that. And it was also kind of interesting when we were talking to Catherine to hear that as well from her side too, of just like, Neil knew most of this because he's like well read and well versed in a lot of things about indigenous culture.
Well, he shows that in the documentary.
Yes, he's very learned, whereas she kind of isn't as much. She's steeped in it, but she's still not as the same level of Neil. But like to hear her also be like, "Oh, that was neat." I was like, "Yeah, I was literally in the same boat for most of that documentary of just like, holy shit!" Like I had no idea about a lot of these kind of things. So I think it's almost like essential viewing for
Enlightening.
Yes,
enlightening.
Yeah, enlightening, essential, and a really really great experience overall. I learned so many new things, and I love that from any documentary that wins a lot of points in my head. But broken down to the sections of like fashion and then sports, politics, and
fishing.
Sorry,
wasn't it fishing? It was about salmon fishing or salmon
spirituality. I think religion. Yeah,
religion. Yeah, it was just about the salmon. It was about them getting rid of the salmon farming.
Oh yeah, like I think it was still part of the politics section on the green eco initiatives and things like. Oh no, yeah, you're right. It was nature. Yeah, an excellent sort of way to break that up. I thought it was great.
I'm just disappointed we didn't get to hear his Jim Morrison story.
Yeah, that is in our interview. I left that in there. I also left him taking a phone call, which
I heard that part.
I couldn't cut it out. It was so funny.
I thought of Swamp Dog immediately.
It was so funny. I'm like, we had our own Swamp Dog moment. This is incredible. But yeah, I'm really bummed with it. It's because we talked for almost an hour.
That's
if
true.
we kept it to half an hour, we probably could have been like, hey Neil, can you tell us the Jim Morrison story? But no,
just
we
means
talked for too long.
That we're gonna have to get Neil on the horn, and he's gonna tell us the story.
It's fine. You know what? No, here's how we do this. Hear me out. Did you get through the entire interview?
I got through most of it.
Okay. Towards the end, they were talking about their new upcoming project that's literally coming out, I think, in the fall, and they're trying to get that. So I think there's a way that we see that, we interview them again, and then we make sure it's trimmed down and we have some spare time. And we'll tell Allie, we're like, look, I don't know if you're handling the PR on this film, but if you are, we want an interview and we need some extra time, but just kind of buffer it in so that we can get this Jim Morrison story, because I want to know it so bad. I don't need to record it. I don't want to record it. I just want to know it, because now I'm just left with this loose thread.
I love it.
I want to know.
You guys did really well.
Thank you.
Really well. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
From what I listened.
Anyway, shall we get into the best, my worst?
Yes, we should, since we gave the plug on Red Fever.
Yeah,
for sure. Definitely listen to that interview,
please, if you can, if you want to, but please. Who wants to kick us off? Who's got a best for me?
I got an oops all bangers.
Okay, well, let's start with that then.
All right,
not all of three of them, but just give me one of them. And banger.
So
banger number one.
Banger the first.
Yeah.
Is the new Yorgos Lanthimos joint.
Fuck off.
Kind of kindness.
I'm so mad at you. Can I just take off my headphones while you just dish about this so we don't have to hear it?
Which you could if you want. It's in limited release in the States right now. It did really well. Has the highest per theater average of the year so far.
God.
It comes out a little wider this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's in select theaters this weekend in Canada as well. Basically, it is an anthology tale, a triptych, I guess they would call it. It's 3 different stories that are loosely connected.
Okay.
By a couple of loose threads.
Sure.
One is about I'm just going to try to keep it very simple.
Keep it as simple and vague as I can.
Yeah.
The one is just about a gentleman who doesn't want to be controlled anymore.
Sure.
The next one is about a possible case of mistaken identity. And then the last one is about a cult searching for a messiah.
Wild shit.
And let me tell you, boys,
Fucking Yorgos, man.
Yorgos is back on his bullshit.
I
If
love
you
it.
like Yorgos because you watch The Favorite and Poor Things, you're probably going to fucking hate Kinds of Kindness. If you like Yorgos because you watch The Lobster, Killing of the Sacred Deer, Dogtooth and Alps, you're a fucking certified sicko,
You're a sicko.
you're going to fucking love it.
Oh,
Love
homie, you preach it to the choir over here. You know we're
it is-
certified sickos.
Yorgos brought it home for the sickos.
Yeah.
Yorgos, this is the ultimate, like, because it's a Searchlight movie. This is an ultimate, like, you gave me all this cachet where we got all these nomination type thing. This is my fuck you money.
Yeah,
This is all fuck you money.
This one's
'Cause
for me.
This one's for
Yeah,
me because
yeah.
he filmed this in the downtime between when
Yeah.
they were doing post
Well, they were,
on Poor Things.
yeah.
So it's
Which is also, first of all, that's already fucking wild. He's in post-production on another movie and he's just like, we got some time. I got all
Might
this
as well
shit.
just do
You
another
wanna just
one.
do another
a lot of
movie?
them are-
The movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes, isn't it?
it's
a
almost
fucking-
3 hours.
Jesus.
It's long. It's long. But it
Fucking
doesn't feel long
Yorgos.
because it's 3 different shorts,
Yeah,
right?
Right. Yeah.
Like shorts.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those things where if you're not on board, you gotta go. You
Yeah.
gotta go. You just gotta buckle up. And I seriously, like, I was there in the press screening.
Yeah.
My boy Shaq was beside me, and just like we were just like, what the actual fuck is happening right now?
Wild.
I don't know what's happening. I need an adult.
Wild.
Why is Yorgos skull fucking me right now? Because
I
it's
love
fucking
it.
this is
Insane.
it's just like it's beautifully shot. The cast is just the cast goes for it. I don't know how he gets the cast to commit to some of the outrageous shit that happens in this movie. I don't know how he gets them to commit, but they all commit and they all do the fucking alien fucking dialogue that doesn't seem of this
yeah.
world.
Yeah.
I love it.
And they all play different parts in each story. So you got Emma Stone, you got
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, just
Jesse
basically Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons, who
Oh,
got
Plemons.
best actor at Cannes,
Yeah.
or at Cannes, deserved it. Hong Chow,
Fuck yeah.
Margaret Qualley,
Oh, yeah.
Joe Alwyn. Oh God, I don't remember how to say his name. You're gonna bring him up again later.
Okay.
Why is your name, sir? Mamadou Athie. I
Oh,
think is how you say
yeah.
it. Like he's in it. Elemental.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say his name, or
Yeah.
it's as close as I'm going to get to saying his name. Hunter Schafer shows up for all of 5 minutes. She's only in like one section of the movie, so don't if you're big on Hunter Schafer, you'll be disappointed.
Sure.
But just the way the camera moves, the way it's shot on film, so it looks amazing, and just this thing is like he's a certified madman.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
certifiably insane.
Yeah.
It is one of my greatest life regrets that I didn't get to interview him when I had the chance. But like, I don't know if I want to because
I think
he
you
sounds
should.
like he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
If he thinks this is how people talk and how people act, I don't know what's going on in Greece, guys, but fuck.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's what I've always loved. Like, I don't know. It to the end of this day, he is the most unique voice
It's just
working at the scale that he's working at right now. And the fact that studios continually give him money to continually making the weirdest shit. I love it.
and his boy,
I love it.
I don't know how to say his. I'm not going to try, but his boy Philippou, who got nominated for the Oscar with him for The Lobster.
Yeah.
He's the co-writer on it.
No,
Oh,
yeah. So
no.
we're
So
back on that bullshit.
This is
He's
like
back on
this
his
is
bullshit.
certified Yorgos.
Yeah.
Like
It's a certified Yorgos
the
joy.
The Favorite and Poor Things are weird Yorgos movies, but they're not. They're not pure. Undistilled
because
Yorgos.
McNamara
Because McNamara wrote those,
yeah.
and he
Yeah.
just kind of put
Well, I
his
think Yorgos
stamp on the.
co-wrote Poor Things as well, but McNamara seems to be able to
It's his voice.
decipher the alien language into real human.
Yeah.
I'll never forget my lobster experience of just like, because that was my introduction to Yorgos.
Yeah. Well, same.
And I took Melissa and Mom
Lord
to see
help
the second.
you.
It was the second screening at TIFF.
How Lord
And I was
help
like,
you.
"Hey, Ma, did you like it?" She's like, "I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying."
Yeah,
Yeah. I think if she watched this, she wouldn't understand what the fuck they were saying
Yeah.
either.
yeah.
She was so confused.
Yeah.
When this movie ended, I was like, what the fuck?
I love it.
Yeah.
But it's a must see. If you're
A certified sicko.
If you're a certified sicko, it's a must see. If you're not quite certified sicko, maybe rent it.
All right.
But if you're certified,
Maybe talk to one of your certified sicko friends and ask them to distill it for you.
yeah, if it's good, if it's
talk to
something
your
that they
local
should
sicko.
watch.
Yeah. Talk to your local sicko.
But boys, I cannot wait until you see it
Oh man, I'm so excited.
because you both are going to appreciate the hell out of it.
Oh hell yeah,
Perfect.
I will.
I'm excited.
Was that vague enough for you?
That's great. Thank you. Yes, I do need to get my girlfriend to watch either The Lobster or Killing of a Sacred Deer prior to seeing this, just so that she can understand. Because she started at The Favorite and she loves Yorgos, but I'm like, no, you need sweetie, no, you need to understand.
If someone says they love Yorgos and instantly the first movie that they say is The Favorite, they don't like Yorgos.
Well, they do like Yorgos, and like she loved Poor Things so much, and it's like, okay, you do like Yorgos, but you like a filtered version of Yorgos that you need to understand how unhinged this man truly is, and how weird he like. You only have scratched the surface of his depravity.
Bad shit.
Yeah. I'm excited. Thank you for keeping that relatively vague.
I'm pumped.
Tony B.
For my best, I have the film that sent the internet ablaze in April. It is a little tennis movie called Challengers.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
By Mr. Luca Guadagnino.
That's how you say his last name. Okay, because I literally had it on the tip of my tongue. I was about to say it, but I didn't want to say it wrong.
Luca G. We'll just go Luca G.
In Luca, we trust, boys,
Sure.
because holy shit.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I thought I was going to get a commercial, like a Hollywood tennis story. And then I remembered the director directed
Nope.
Call Me By Your Name. And
Yep.
it was anything but that.
Yep. Yeah.
It was an artsy tennis movie.
Absolutely.
With even a camera that was in the ball. So when the ball bounces, you
Ooh.
get that little like ball effect. I love
That's
it.
cool.
I love the shot from underneath where he's bouncing it.
Oh, when they did like the glass floor.
The glass floor. It's awesome.
I love the hell out of this movie.
Cool.
Zendaya was absolutely amazing. The two guys that were in it is Zendaya.
You want to talk about diabolical?
Yeah.
Is it Zendaya?
Zendaya. She is diabolical
She
in
is-
this movie.
She is something else. And the other two actors, Josh O'Connor and Mike
Faced?
Face. Yes.
Mask faced.
Yeah, Mike Face. The two of them.
Not faced.
Hard T.
Mike F.
Feist. Yeah.
Feist.
Our boy from West Side Story.
Absolutely.
Is he our boy?
Yes,
Of
he's our
course.
boy.
I'll take it.
They were great. The
Cool.
whole movie was great.
Yeah.
The ending, I would say, is one of the most cold-blooded savagery things I've ever seen committed to cinema.
Nice.
It was a moment that I was hoping was going to happen, and when it happened,
Oh,
boy, I was
baby.
up
Yeah.
on my feet. And I talked to one of my friends who saw it in the theaters, and apparently, when that scene happened in theaters, everybody freaking lost their mind.
Nice.
But yeah. Absolute banger, I would say.
Sweet.
Definitely one of the top of the year for sure. Seek this out immediately because it's definitely going to be coming up again come award season.
Nice.
You didn't even mention Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's score.
Oh, and the score.
Oh, and the score.
Holy
The score.
shit.
Oh, and
and
did
the
I say the
score.
tennis? Luca Guadagnino
Guadagnino. Yeah.
makes tennis so much more exciting.
He makes tennis fun.
He makes it fun because
That's not what Lights Camera Jackson would say, but
Yeah.
he didn't think it was too fun, but the rest of us do.
I loved it. It was intense. Seek it out immediately, James.
Will do.
It's
I really will.
It's addictive.
It's addictive.
It's
Shit.
addictive.
I want to watch it again just talking about it.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Definitely one of the I would say one of the top right now.
Nice. It's good.
Zendaya's
I wanna
knocking
see
it out
it.
of the park this year.
It's been sitting on my watch list for like weeks now. I just have
as
not.
soon as it,
Yeah.
we've been going through too many film festivals. And when
Yeah.
this one dropped
Yeah.
on VOD, I watched it immediately.
Really?
I regretted
Nice.
not seeing it theatrically.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch quickly.
Yeah.
I keep trying to sneak it in, but every time I get either downvoted or I have film festival things to watch, and that's fine. I will get to this.
You have time.
I have
Do
time
it.
now. I'm gonna do it.
We got
before Fantasia
three or
rips.
4 weeks.
Mr. Jimmy.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I feel like I didn't talk about this one last time. But the 40th, no, sorry, how many years has it been since D-Day? 60? 80?
No.
70? 80?
80. 80.
80 years since D-Day. On that day, I threw in Saving Private Ryan. Because I was seeing a bunch of content online, and it was like some of the last sort of remaining veterans from World War II were like going to Normandy for a celebration. Some of them got to meet like Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg were there, and they got to like have conversations with them, and it was very like heartwarming in that way.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, it's been like 80 years, and I also couldn't remember the last time I watched Saving Private Ryan. So I was
I
like,
definitely
you know what?
can't remember.
I'm gonna throw that on and watch it, and fuck me, that movie still is fucking amazing. I don't understand. That first 30 minutes is probably one of the best openings of any movie almost ever. It upranks with so many, like, I don't know, Star Wars, great opening, Jaws, an excellent opening,
To Spielberg.
To Spielberg,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Raiders, Spielberg.
Yeah. He knows how to.
He knows how to open
He
a
knows
movie.
how to open. And fucking Saving Private Ryan is like one of the most fucking,
Holy shit.
first of all, horrifying things to behold with how brutally visceral it is the entire time. And you feel like you are 100% in it. I remember the first time I saw it, I think was in like history class in high school or something. And I was just like, this is wild. And it's still fucking wild. And then the rest of the movie just kind of goes from there. But I forgot how much of a who's who this fucking movie is.
There's a lot of people.
There's
in it.
so many people in this movie.
Yeah.
Like it just
A
is
lot of
nonstop. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't realize fucking Paul Giamatti's in this movie. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Vin Diesel's in it too. Isn't
Vin
he?
Diesel's in it. He dies like a bitch, but he's in it. We have
Barry Pepper.
Barry Pepper,
yeah.
Adam Goldberg,
Yeah.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Yeah, I was gonna say Giovanni Ribisi. Yeah.
Paul Giamatti. Fucking Ted Danson's in it. Did anyone remember that? Dennis Farina's fucking in
I
this.
love Dennis Farina.
So do I. It was just like it kept going. I was like, this guy's in it too.
And Matt Damon.
And Matt Damon, yes, and Matt Damon, and
Gotta find Matt Damon.
in the first of the you got to find Matt Damon and rescue him movies of
How
Matt
much
Damon's
money
career.
has the American government spent on trying to
Trying to
save
rescue Matt
I don't want to know
Damon.
about the future space program dollars that we spent in NASA. Anyway, all this to say, the movie's long, but it hooks you from day one. There's still moments in that I recognize from, like, I know it got lifted off heavily for like the Call of Duty games. Like there's like straight up missions in this, like in that game that are exactly from this movie. So it's wild, like the attention to detail that they had and everything they did. It's an incredible piece. So yeah, that was my banger.
And it lost Best Picture to Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. I had to watch Shakespeare in Love for the first time when I went through all the
Shakespeare in Love.
Shakespeare in Love when I went through all the best pictures, and Jesus Christ, how the fuck did that win?
I can tell you how it won.
His name's Harvey, and he's a scumbag.
He's a
I was gonna
scumbag.
say.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
scumbag.
Go fucking
Yeah,
hell.
he-
He can go. He can rot in hell.
rot in hell.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He could burn in hell.
Yeah. Yeah, he can. He can.
Dave, Banger the Second.
Banger the Second is just came out this weekend. It's a small indie film called Thelma, which
All right.
premiered at Sundance, and starring, headlining is June Squibb as the titular
Starring,
Thelma,
headlining, and produced by
produced by June Squibb,
I
Who-
fucking love June Squibb.
who is well into her 90s, and this is her
Fuck
first
yeah.
starring role.
That's
And
horrible.
oh wow, basically the hook is she's just that sweet grandmother, and she gets fleeced for 10 grand by some scammers, and well, she wants the 10 grand back, so she goes out to get her 10 grand back. And my God, boys, this movie is so much fun and so lovely, and just it's just, I just had a smile on my face the entire time I watched it.
Nice.
And it's emotional. There's a lot about getting old and kind of a lot of reflection. And it's especially poignant because her partner in crime, her partner to help her find the people that stole her money is Richard Roundtree. And this was his last feature film.
That's gonna hurt watching it.
It hurts watching it because some of the things that they're saying about getting old and kind of like leaving the family behind type thing, it hits extra hard because Richard's not here anymore.
Right.
And it's also just nice to see him. He's always great, but I always think of him as Shaft.
Sure.
Or he's in 7 too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think of him in Shaft or in 7.
Yeah.
So it's just nice just seeing him just like being just a nice old man.
Just a guy.
Just a dude.
Loves
a fun grandpa.
Love that.
Just a fun grandpa.
I love
And
that.
just Parker Posey's in it. I love Parker Posey, Clark Gregg,
Sure.
who I also really like, and our buddy from TIFF, who I can't ever say his last name. Fred Heichinger.
Sounds about right. He's the kid from White Lotus, right?
He's the kid from White Lotus.
Yeah.
He's on the up and up, and he's been in a lot of stuff, and he's like the second lead in this, and he's very, very good in this. I just love him. Like, he's no June Squibb, but he's quite lovely.
But he does well for himself.
He does well for himself, but like, if you love June Squibb, and if you don't, I don't want to know you. But if you love June Squibb as much as I love June Squibb, like, you're gonna love the hell out of them.
Oh man. Okay, this is right up my alley because I love June Squibb.
It's just so much fun. Like, it's like you could pick it apart.
Yeah.
But it seems
like it would be really wholesome and like just like an enjoyable, fun movie to watch.
Yeah. It's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a crowd pleaser. And I didn't realize this because I'm assuming this is real technology, but she has her hearing aids, and she has Bluetooth in her hearing aids, so she could just sync up her phone so she can just hear on her hearing aids. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally a thing. Like most hearing aids now come with like an app.
I love that.
You can use them both as like wireless earbuds and also hearing aids.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is real. This is fucking cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, lovely film.
Nice.
Should definitely check it out.
Nice. 100%. Tone.
So for my meh, I have an 80s classic. This is a high men personal movie to me.
Hyman?
Hi, meh.
High meh.
Okay, I thought you said a hymen. I was like, what?
80s classic.
Yeah.
Starring the ever so great Steve Guttenberg.
Oh,
I'm of course talking about Police Academy.
Oh, I see. Sure.
You know what's a good time?
Yeah. Police Academy?
Getting baked at midnight and watching fucking Police Academy.
Can't say I've ever done it, so I'm going to take your word on it.
Honestly, it was fucking great. You know what you're getting. It's stupid.
Yeah.
You got Mahoney, Tackleberry, Hightower, Jones. You got Jones making the sound effects.
Yeah.
Showing it to Melissa. Melissa got a kick out of it. She could see she didn't like it. Obviously, she doesn't like it. Obviously, but she could see why I like it.
Sure.
And it's just so fun. It's just a fun watch.
All right.
And I watched the second one. Second one's about right there with it, but like the first one you put on the pedestal for sure. Everything else after that, because there's 7 of them, obviously.
Like Mission to Moscow.
Mission to Moscow is the 7th one. I'm excited to get to that one.
I bet you are.
Fuck. You got to get the collection on Letterboxd, obviously. It's like a trophy.
Is it? Is it a trophy that you want?
I wish Letterboxd had trophies.
Right? Yeah. Second one wasn't as good, but it was still right up there. Brainless humor. It's humor. It's potty. It's toilet humor. But it's good.
So are you buying the Shout Factory special edition?
Oh, you bet your sweet ass I am.
Of all of them?
Yeah, it's a box set.
Full box set.
Good lord.
Definitely want it.
I feel like it's a lot of diminishing returns there, homie.
But dude, you get what you pay for. It's just a fucking Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh, I love Bobcat.
And he's just
Sure.
like,
Yeah, he's just Bobcat. Yeah.
He's just Bobcat.
Moses is like, why is he screaming? Why can't he talk
That's
normal? I was
just
like,
Bobcat.
that's just Bobcat, man.
Yeah.
And he becomes one of them. Like, come the fuck
Insane.
on.
I loved meeting Bobcat.
Oh my
Is that
God.
Bobcat?
I met Bobcat. I got a picture of Bobcat.
Oh, that's wild.
It was all I wanted that year.
Did he
at TIFF.
yell at you?
He was happy to take the photo.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, he was loud. He did the Q&A and he was loud.
I bet. Good Lord.
But yeah, Police Academy.
Get high at midnight and watch it.
Get high and
All right.
watch it.
All right.
Wake and bake.
Wake and bake.
Is that wake and bake?
Fall
That's-
asleep
just
and
seems
bake.
like
Fall asleep and bake.
Yeah.
Sleep and bake.
That's
Or
a good-
bake and sleep.
Bacon sleep?
Bacon sleep.
Bacon.
Bacon.
There you go. My meh is one that you have talked about recently, but I got to see it as part of a double feature. It's The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes,
Aw.
which we went through all of them and watched it all the way from Rise to Kingdom, I guess. And yeah, it's fine. It's a fine. I mean, technology wise, there's nothing. I can't extol how great this fucking movie looks. It's insane how good it looks. It needs to win something for something in a technical category, because like this is an achievement in sort of realism and in terms of like CGI anywhere. Like it's so well done. It looks so fucking good. The rest
I concur.
okay, good. The rest of the movie, I don't know. I felt like it was severely bogged down in trying to set up more movies. And it didn't focus enough on the story it was currently trying to tell instead of future ones that it wanted to tell later on.
Fair points.
And I don't know. I didn't love the ending, and I think that's kind of where I'm also a little bit salty. And partially
Like the very end?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was like, what, I don't know. There was the way it ended when she goes back and visits the village, let's call it.
Yeah.
That ending, that part of the ending, I was just like, what the fuck did we just spend all this movie doing? Like, it feels like we took 2 steps forward and then 78,000 steps backwards. So I don't know. I thought it was mostly fine, but certainly not to the level of any of the previous entries.
That's fair. That's fair. I agree with you. I liked it. I liked it more than you did, but I do agree with you. It's not as good as that previous trilogy, but it was never going to be as good as that trilogy.
Correct. And that's fine. It just, as I said, like I think its biggest flaw was it trying to do so much with what it wants to do later on versus just focusing on, like, you're coming off a legacy of 3 movies that you can't really touch. And I mean, you know, I like some of the things that they took from that, like co-opting a message and, you know, the entire, you know, Caesar's a Messiah anyway. So he's so sort of his message getting perverted was an interesting take. I don't think that they did enough with it.
No.
I wanted more of that exploration. I feel like that wasn't anything. And then, like, they did a decent enough job starting some world building, but like I still don't understand the scale of
That's fair.
where any of this is taking place or how far these tribes moved and like how, like, I don't know, there's still more about this world that I feel like they're just not answering. And like in the trilogy, the Caesar trilogy, they couldn't really, like, I still geographically kind of knew where they were because of, you know, they started in San Francisco and then they moved up north and I kind of got, and then they moved east at the end of war. So I was like, oh, okay, geographically, I kind of know where at least that ended. But this takes place so many generations later. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck you are. I don't know how many of
that's
this
generations
is. Like,
later. That's the
yeah.
point. Like, you don't have to know where they are because
I-
it doesn't look the same anymore.
Well, yeah, and maybe not know where they are, but just like how much the world has expanded, like how many ape villages there are. Like I thought the idea of an ape village was cool, and there was like specific tribes that were following birds instead of other things. So like there was interesting things in here. They didn't do enough of them.
All fair points.
But also Owen Teague.
Owen Teague,
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant.
And Kevin Durant. Yeah. So interesting. And William H. Macy
I told you Bill Macy was fucking weird in it.
for some fucking reason.
For some reason, Bill Macy.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. Are you on first name basis with William H. Macy?
I did see him in the bathroom.
Well, yeah,
that one time.
he peed next to him.
He's Bill Macy. You. And I'm not seeing it. He's still
Fine.
William H. Macy to me.
Fine.
Or- If you're nasty and feel like combining their names like Benifer or Brangelina, William H. Muffman is also acceptable to me.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. Well done.
That's a really old Colbert joke that made me piss my pants laughing.
Well, Tony
Anyway.
almost pissed his pants just now.
It's a good one. Anyway, that's my meh. Yes.
To your point, just talking about King and Planet of the Apes, they finally announced the Blu-ray. They
Yeah.
say finally, it's only been out for 6 weeks.
Yeah. It hasn't been that long.
It hasn't
But
been
okay,
that long.
they announced it.
But they announced the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray is going to come with a special feature that is entirely previs. So like you'll
The
just
entire
hold like
movie
the
in
whole movie, the
previs?
entire So
Wow.
you'll see them in the suits acting.
Interesting.
So I really want to watch that.
That's
'cause I
very
think that
cool.
would be cool to watch them in the suits.
They did that kind of with Sin City in a way where like everything was done. It was the entire green screen edition where it was like everything with no special effects.
Yeah.
And it's that
Yeah,
would
so
be
it's
very
like that.
intriguing.
It's like that, and I'm
Yeah.
intrigued by that because I've always wanted to see how they would have
they're
shot
doing
that,
it.
right?
Yeah.
So I
That'd
think it would
very
be cool. I think it would be cool. That and I just
And
want
there
to see
was some
Kevin.
cool-
I want to see Kevin Durant.
Just this like 6-7 foot monster. Jeez.
Yeah. There was some very
he's
cool.
massive.
There's some very cool shots in this movie
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And,
I'm still excited to see where it goes.
yeah, I'm not going to stop watching them. I was just kind of let down by the choices it made.
That's fine. That's fair. That's fair.
You, Banger 3.
Banger 3. Okay, so Banger 2.5, just for a sec, just because I need to mention it. 30th anniversary of Speed was a few weeks ago. I put that movie on, and
Yeah. Does
James,
it fuck?
I think I could watch that movie on loop for the rest of my life
Oh, yeah, man.
and not get sick of it.
Hell yeah.
Just over and over and over. Just
Yeah.
I could just
Yeah.
watch that movie endlessly. I
Nice.
love that fucking movie.
Hell yeah.
Just, I love the bus. I can't go over 50 miles an hour.
It
I can't go under 50 miles an hour.
can't.
The
The bus that I watched this movie, it was about a bus that couldn't go under 55 miles
bus
an hour.
that couldn't slow down.
I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
just endless. I could watch that movie forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a desert island movie for me.
That's a good one. That's a really
for
good one.
anybody, for
That's
that
a really
matter.
good one.
It's a good
God,
one.
I love that movie. Okay,
Yeah.
so the last thing, or my third banger that I want to talk about is a little Canadian indie horror film called In a Violent Nature. It's another one that was at Sundance.
Oh.
And this movie is it's a Shudder film, so it'll be on Shudder in a few months. It's going to be on VOD at the end of this week. And my God, boys, I don't know if you guys are prepared for this one because I was
I heard
not
people
prepared.
puked during it.
It's
shit.
It's gnarly.
It's gnarly, eh?
fucking gnarly. Like it is slow. It is very, very slow.
Slowest of slow burns.
It's a slow burn because it's mainly it's shot. It's an art house film, so it's
Sure.
shot like an art house movie, but it's shot from the killer's point of view. So the
Ah.
killer is resurrected, like Jason type
Sure.
thing. He's resurrected because somebody takes a locket, a sacred locket, so he has to go find the
Jesus
locket type
Christ.
thing. But most of the movie is just behind him, watching him just go through the forest
No. All right.
and picking off his victims one by one. So it is slow and it is artsy, but I was hanging on everything just because it's shot so. It's like a deconstruction of a slasher movie, kind of, but it's basically a Jason movie from his point of view.
Okay.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I think it's really, really well
They
done.
have a few moments
And
of that in Friday the 13th where it's from his point of view.
Yeah,
so it's like that the
very
entire
much
movie.
the entire movie, and it plays with your expectations. There's definitely
Interesting.
a couple of very intense moments that you're like, you think are going to go one way and they go an entirely different way.
Interesting.
And it went out unrated. So
Yeah.
this movie is fucking vicious.
Dang.
Like the blood in this movie is fucking wild.
Dang.
Nice.
Like
okay.
there is a kill in this movie, and I just sat there in disbelief. Like I think it says a lot about me that it didn't gross me out at all, and that I
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like mortified, because I'm assuming this is where people were puking.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't believe this. How is this still going?
Yeah.
How are you getting away with this?
Wow.
What? I was just in disbelief that they put this to film.
Yeah. That's insane.
It's just, you're just sitting there and you're like, I can't believe this is happening.
Fuck.
I can't believe this is happening. And it's just very well done. It's produced by our boy Peter Kaplowski, who does Midnight Madness
Yeah.
curation for TIFF. And just the acting it's not top shelf acting. It's still slasher movie acting,
Yeah.
but it's just like everybody's on board.
Great.
They're just like, and you just buy the slow shambling type thing, but
Yeah.
you're not laughing type, because it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrific.
Damn.
And just some of the creativity here,
Yeah.
you're just like, wow.
All right.
It's very creative, very gory. And yeah, it's not for everyone because it is slow. Like,
Right.
there's a lot of shambling around.
Yeah.
And like there's one part where they kind of explain the story of why he exists, and it's just people at a campfire and it's going around in circles type thing. So
Yeah.
I can see why people wouldn't like this movie at all.
Okay.
But for gorehounds,
I mean, again, for the sickos.
For the
for the
sickos.
sickos,
Hell yeah.
say magnifique.
Excellent.
I'm excited.
I'm in.
I-
That's
You said that
fucking-
kid's out on VOD at the end of the week.
I did.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't really want to watch it again so much as I want to be in the room in a packed theater when that
Oh,
one
sure.
scene happens, and I want to hear the fucking reactions.
Yeah.
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 So I kind of want to be around when you guys see this one scene play out, because I
Okay.
want to know.
If you're not around, I'll FaceTime you.
Yeah, FaceTime me and just let me know what is happening. It happens at the top of a hill.
Okay. Okay.
It involves
Top of a hill.
the top
Top of a hill.
somebody doing yoga at the top of a hill.
Okay. Okay.
He's
Say no
gonna
more.
find. He's
Say
gonna.
no
he's,
more.
he's gonna find out this weekend.
Say no more.
So anybody who's listening to this knows exactly what I'm talking about. And when you guys re-listen to this podcast later, you're going to come back to it and be like, yeah, Dave wasn't fucking around.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right. Do you have a worst?
I do. I do
All
have
right.
a worst, and this is definitely
Oh, it's bottom of the barrel.
it's trash.
Oh no. Is it a Tony revisits his youth?
No, it is not.
Oh.
Tony revisits his youth. This is a Vinegar Syndrome release
Oh.
that Mr. Dave Baldwin has in his collection. It is
I'm starting to judge you now.
is the 1984 horror Fatal Games.
Oh. So why do you own this?
Had a nice cover.
I like the cover art, and I
Yeah.
like the synopsis.
All right.
So I'm going to read you the synopsis.
Go for
Because
it.
this is a movie that we know people have definitely not heard of, but
Yeah. I haven't.
this is the doorway. You are the gateway.
Yes.
It
Give
is,
me.
it is very much like the kind of movie that Vinegar Syndrome resurrected from the dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the transfer that we saw,
Yikes.
yikes on bikes.
All
Like
right.
it's a good transfer,
They
but
did
it's,
a fabulous job
With
but
what they had.
but they
what they had.
resurrected
Yeah.
this fucking
Yeah.
movie. Okay, so the young athletes of Falcon Academy are training hard to earn their place in the Nationals. But when these budgeting sports stars start disappearing one after another, the doctor and his team, who have started pieing. Anyways, basically, the doctors and his teams, they're drugging these. They're giving the experimental drugs to these
Yeah.
athletes. They're performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a slasher. These kids just keep getting picked off
Right.
one after the other.
Yeah.
In
the
the most,
javelin.
Oh.
I was just about to say, in the most track and field ways possible.
Oh no.
Like Like if you did not like track and field equipment,
Yeah.
like these, you're not gonna like seeing these kids get killed with
Oh,
these fucking
Jesus.
tracks. A javelin. There's like a fucking like spear thing that
Yeah.
something. Just literally like he's on a tower like
Yeah.
50 yards away.
Yeah.
Perfect aim with this spear thing right through the guy's chest.
Okay.
Some of the kills are pretty funny.
Yeah.
There was one that me and Dave loved where someone was swimming in the pool and Buddy was wearing like a scuba diving outfit.
Yeah.
And it was dark in the pool and
Yeah.
he just has this little thing and he's literally hiding in the pool in the dark area. This person who's swimming does not see that this man is down there. Swims over the man just fucking stabs
Oh
them
my
in the
God.
pool.
Oh my God.
It is fun. It is borderline like softcore porn at parts.
Yeah.
There's definitely some unsettling bits about this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
it's-
definitely some gender politics that I don't think would fly today.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an ending that comes out of absolutely fucking nowhere. It's a time.
Damn.
It's fun as fuck.
It is fun as fuck. It
Is
is
it?
not. It is not
I had
a movie.
I had fun watching it with Tony.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
This is not a movie you enjoy on your own.
Yeah.
Get your fucking boys, your girls, everybody. Just get everybody together and
Yeah.
watch this because this is definitely a crowd movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's bad, but it's
It is.
fun.
It
It's a
is
fun bad.
trash,
Sure.
but it's hilarious.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That sounds. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. You described it all to me, and I'm like, I'm kind of on board, but also I'm kind of not on board.
I'll,
like,
I'll
I
let
don't
you
know.
borrow it, man.
All right.
I'll let you borrow it.
No, but then I need to find some friends to watch it with.
I'll
then.
watch it with
Well, I'll
you.
watch it with you
I'll
too.
watch it.
man.
I'll watch it to you back to back after I pick up the 4K of Invisible Maniac.
All right.
Oh,
That's-
buddy,
yeah.
that's the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've brought it up to
Yes,
before in this podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 4K I need.
Yeah. Absolutely. It seems anyway. I don't have actually a worst, so I'm just going to go with another sort of meh. Because I think I only mainly briefly mentioned it when we were talking Furiosa. But I watched OG Mad Max for the first time, which I'm going to sit in a meh category. I give it a lot of brownie points for it being certainly an indie film. And it is wildly indie. And for those who have never seen it, it is certainly worth a watch, but it is certainly not anything that you'd ever be expecting from whatever you think Mad Max is. But it does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of story elements that I didn't really even know until I watched it. You get like pieces of it, I think, in Fury Road, but you don't really know enough. And it doesn't deal with whatever the fuck happened to society. It is literally before all of that happens, and it's just like, what's a Mad Max? Who is Max? And also he's living in a weird police state that has very few rules. But I gotta say, since 1979, George Miller has known how to film a fucking car chase. They are consistently riveting. Like, this is like as low indie budget film as it could be for 1979 with a probably not really super well known Mel Gibson at the time.
That would have been his first like major one.
So for that to have happened and for it to still be so good and enthralling to watch, he's incredible. His introduction in the film is nothing short of, yeah, this guy's gonna be a fucking movie star. Like, it is a great introduction followed by a great finale to a car chase. I don't know, I had a lot of fun watching it. I don't think it's like the most amazing thing ever. Obviously, like, you know, George Miller's gone to do even better and better things. But it's certainly
like Babe,
Pig in the City,
Happy Feet.
and Happy Feet.
Actually, he didn't direct Babe. He just produced it. He did Babe, Pig in the City.
Yeah. Pig in the City and Happy Feet.
And Happy Feet.
Yeah, he's gone on to great things. But for this as a starting sort of big feature film for him, it was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
I have it on 4K. I really want to watch it.
You should.
I really
It's
wanna watch it.
just, you know, temper your expectations. Remember, it's an indie film, and you'll have a great time.
I can do that. I can definitely do
There
that.
is still like a moment in it that is so fucked up. Just in terms of, it's not as graphic because they didn't have the budget for graphic, but it's fucked up shit that you're watching.
Like, did they just kind of allude to the fact that it's just Australia that just kind of fell apart, or is it like the
No.
whole world?
So, well, in this,
Because I just assumed it was just Australia.
in this, yeah, the sort of the fucked up nature of society is 100% just Australia.
Okay.
Because Mad Max, the Road Warrior,
Thank you.
Mad Max 2, opens up with a text crawl that kind of explains what the hell happened right after that. But Mad Max is definitely just like, Australia's fucked.
Okay, so we stay.
everybody?
So we
Yeah.
stay away from Australia. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But it's not. Anyway, it's wild. I didn't know Mad Max had a wife, and yet here we are, and a child. He had a child.
I think I knew this. I think
Yeah.
I knew it. Maybe not.
Anyway, worth a watch. If you haven't seen it before, throw it on. It's good.
All right.
There we go.
Before Tony gets weird,
Yeah.
should we talk about the bike riders?
Yeah, definitely. Let's
Oh
talk
yeah, you
about
guys
it for
got.
sure.
You guys were able to sneak that in. Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, we did.
Amazing.
The Goodfellas of bike riding.
That's how it feels like when I watched the trailer for it.
It's not quite that, but
When
it's
it
kind
opens
of-
up, when it opens up, I immediately went over to Dave. I was just like, if they're gonna do this fucking Goodfellas shit,
Yeah.
like what the fuck are we here for? But they shake it out, and then when it gets into it, it's I really like this one. Dave,
Oh,
did you
all
like
right.
it?
I like it a little more now than I did after I watched it.
Yeah,
But it's very like the first 45 minutes or so is really, really well done because it's based on a true story about a journalist who was documenting a biker gang in the 60s and early 70s, and then just kind of like how it kind of expanded.
Right.
And just like how originally it was just about brotherhood type thing and
Yeah.
just hanging out with your boys and going
just
riding.
drinking
Yeah.
beer and
Yeah.
riding,
Yeah.
and
Riding.
getting
And
into
then-
trouble.
Yeah.
And then, but like just like
Mischief.
Yeah.
mischief, and then how it kind of like breeds into
Organized crime.
what
Essentially.
you would, what if I say biker gang, what you think
Yeah,
of
yeah.
immediately. So it's very low. It's lo-fi, I would say. It's
character driven,
very
very
character-driven.
very like you're digging into these characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's kind of a love triangle thing between Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, and Tom Hardy.
Interesting.
In that Austin Butler, that Jodie Comer and Tom Hardy are fighting over Austin Butler.
Yeah.
That's funny.
kind of
Tom Hardy putting on his best Marlon Brando.
Interesting.
Some of the accents in this
Yeah.
movie are wild.
Oh,
Like
all right.
Jodie Comer, like
Yeah.
she is nuts.
Oh,
like her
yeah.
accent is
It's-
like
it's just all over the
wild.
place?
Yeah.
It's not like it's a perfect accent.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
just
It
a
does
very
not drop. It does not drop, but it is very out there.
Oh.
yeah. But apparently, like they played at a Q&A, they played a clip of the real person she's portraying.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly the same.
Oh,
Damn.
I'm not even surprised. She is a fabulous actress.
Yes, she's very good in it. Austin Butler's very good.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, like everybody's good in it. It's just it gets very slow.
Oh.
Yeah.
It gets very slow and methodical, and just kind of digs into I don't know, hyper masculinity and
Mm.
Toxic masculinity.
toxic masculinity, and just
Is it kind of a pacing issue based on what they?
it just
We're
kind of
working
doesn't
with
fit.
It could have used a little bit of tightening.
Yeah, it could have used some
Yeah.
tightening. It didn't need to be like when he says Goodfellas, I think of a movie that kind of it starts with like a gunshot
Yeah.
and then it just keeps picking up momentum.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you just keep watching it because you're like, you need to see how
Yeah.
this movie plays out. And it's like, and then it gets when he's high on cocaine, it feels addictive.
Yeah.
You're like you're in it,
You're in
type
it,
thing.
yeah.
Or in Wolf of Wall Street, where it's high, it's just
High,
ratcheting up, high, and then like a colossal
You
fall,
fall off a
right?
cliff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this movie's not that.
Right.
It's just really well. It's really well filmed and really well acted, and the story's interesting until it's not.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Goes off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it just like it doesn't go in the directions you think it would,
right.
Yeah.
because it introduces different ideas and you're like, oh, it's gonna go this way, and then it doesn't. So
You would think that it would get more into the violence, but the more
Yeah.
the violence is like almost like a footnote.
Oh,
Yeah.
right?
okay.
Like it doesn't like get into that. It's just it more focuses on like their relationships and the drinking of the beer and like them just hanging out.
So it becomes
Right.
more meditative than
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good word for it.
Exactly.
It's a good word for it.
And basically it's about the Tom Hardy's character. Basically he watched The Wild One with Marlon Brando,
right.
and he was like, I want to make my motorcycle club. I actually watched The Wild One after I watched Bike Riders, and it was very much the same thing. It was just basically like this biker gang. They're literally just hanging out, causing trouble, and like they're in the town, and then they have to go, basically.
Yeah.
Did you also want to start a motorcycle club after watching it?
No, but
You say the word.
But
man, I'm in.
after I was just like, because throughout the movie, I was like, Tom Hardy's putting on his best Bobby De Niro. Like this sounds like a very De Niro character, right? But after I watched The Wild One, I was like, no, he was pretty much Brando.
Yeah.
Because like just like Brando's mannerisms, the way he spoke, the way he presented himself, Tom Hardy was doing the exact same thing.
So I'm upset now because I was ready to just become a full patched member of Tony's Bike Club, and now he doesn't even want anything to do with that. So
you want to ride bikes? Let's ride fucking bikes, man.
Boring.
Our uncle's a biker. We can get in.
It's true.
Oh,
It's true.
neat.
I don't think he's a part of a gang.
No, he
or
just does.
club, though.
He just beats to the sound of his own
is
drum.
just a group of friends that likes to hang out and drink.
Yeah.
We could be a gang.
We could.
Is what I'm saying. All we need is vests.
We just need patches.
All right.
There it is.
There
we
we
got
go.
the buy-in.
We got to get the Harleys.
We'll wander around with these vests. We'll be like, oh, what kind of bikes you're at? And we're like, oh, we don't. He's got a Volkswagen.
Got a Honda Civic.
Yeah.
We just wear them.
We're just part of a club.
We just
We're
wear
just
the
part of a
cuts.
club.
We just like the vests.
Yeah.
I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah.
But like, someone made so there's a rumor going on. I don't know if it's confirmed yet that Austin Butler is going to be Val Kilmer in the Heat prequel.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as someone
It's
made
like
that
prequel sequel type
prequel
thing, right?
sequel kind of thing, right? But he was going to be Val Kilmer's character.
No.
After they said that, I can't unsee Austin Butler as Val Kilmer.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because
fair.
like watching this movie, I was like, yeah, that he
I
kind of
still
looks
can't
like
unsee him. Well, he did a pretty good job as Fade Routha, but I can't unsee him as fucking Elvis. Still, I'm still struggling with that.
he's doing a good
He's
job.
got the Riz in this movie, man.
Yeah,
he's got the
That's good.
Riz.
Maybe
He's
this will
really-
finally put the Elvis thing to bed for me.
the three of them, fantastic. And even fucking Norman Reedus shows up for some godly ass
well,
reason.
that
Me and
tracks.
Dave both looked at each other. We're like, what the? It looked like he just wandered onto set
He
and
might
then
have.
just went with it.
Yeah, he might have.
And because it's a Jeff Nichols movie, fucking Michael Shannon
Shannon's
shows
in
up.
it too.
Yeah, of
and
course,
he's
of
my
course.
he's his
And he's
normal
just
self.
playing Michael Shannon.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Definitely seek this one out. It'll probably be on VOD soon.
Nice.
It did really well this weekend, though.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Maybe it'll be a little delayed.
Might be a
hopefully.
little delayed.
Yeah.
So
I want to see it still. So
Yeah,
hopefully I can
yeah,
find
it's
some
worth
time to get out there.
watching, and it'll be online by the time you guys are listening to this. But we got to see the Nosferatu trailer, the new Robert Eggers
sick.
joint, and my God,
Sick.
James. There was a group of film bros behind us who were talking through all the trailers, didn't have a care in the world.
Wait. Well, yes, go on. Yeah.
And once they saw the name Robert Eggers go
Yeah.
across the screen,
Yeah.
you could hear a pin drop.
This is we finally get the third Robert Eggers movie. We've been waiting. We've been talking since. Is it the fourth? What was this third?
The
Northman.
Witch, the Lighthouse, and the Northman.
The Northman. We did go through
We
his
did.
third already.
We
Yes.
did. So this is the fourth.
This is the fourth. Yeah, he still gets one more chance with me because he won me back with the Lighthouse. The Northman, he
I
gets
like the
another-
Northman more than I like the Lighthouse.
Dude,
The
I
Lighthouse more
fucking
than the Northman.
love the Northman.
Do you?
I love the Northman.
I don't hate the Northman. Let me put that out
And
there. I do not hate
the
the
lighthouse
Northman.
grew on me.
Yeah, like a fungus.
Yeah.
It really grew.
Like it really did.
I still don't love The Witch. That will never be
I
a
like The
fave.
Witch more-
It's
I like
not
The Witch a
anywhere
lot more
close
than
to
I
my
did.
top.
I fucking hated it.
I like it
I
a lot
still-
more
I've
now
I've watched
than I
it
did.
multiple times now, and I still don't like it.
I
I don't get it. I don't get
I
it.
get it,
I don't
I-
though.
I
I
get it.
don't get it.
but I still don't like it, even
Yeah.
though I get it.
I just love that I have the Black Phillip Funko Pop.
Yeah, that's the most amazing. I love Black Phillip so much. That will go down as best character.
I
Anyway,
love Black Phillip.
Tony, you want to on the back of talking about Robert Eggers' weirdness and Nosferatu? You got a Shutter minute for us?
What's the line? Let's live deliciously.
Yes.
Would thou like to live in?
Wouldest thou
Wouldst
like
thou
to
like
live
to live
deliciously?
Yeah, on that note, let's do that.
Let's
and
do it.
get into the Shudder Minute.
Evil lurking deep inside, its darkness knows no limit. So listen closely if you dare. This is the Shudder Minute.
So what do you got?
So I'm changing it up a little bit. Throwing a little curveball in there.
Ooh.
Instead of a new Shudder release,
It's an old Shudder release?
it's an old Shudder release, brand new to the catalog, but it's
sure.
not a Shudder exclusive
brand new,
or original.
Yeah. Sure.
It is a film from the 80s because you know I love 80s horror.
Sure.
It is a film called Body Melt.
Okay.
Boys,
Did the bodies melt?
you guys are sickos, right? You like a good goop fest.
I like my movies wet and goopy.
I do as well.
This movie is that.
Excellent. I love this already.
Quick little synopsis here. Residents of the peaceful Pebbles Court, Holmesville, are being used unknowingly as test experiments for a new body drug that causes rapid body decomposition.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm in.
Basically, it makes your body melt.
Yeah. Well, I got that.
I'm gonna say-
Imagine that.
Imagine that. This movie's pretty fucking wild, and it is super gross.
Damn.
It takes a little bit to get off.
Is it like society levels of gross?
No, I would put it more on par with like Reanimator and like From Beyond.
Okay, so
kind of thing.
not emotionally scarring.
Not emotionally scarring,
Okay.
just slightly.
Okay.
There's a scene. I'm not gonna ruin it or anything. I'm just gonna say a word. Okay. I was watching this movie and I was like, you know what? It's not quite goopy enough for me. And I'm like, I'm getting a little frustrated because I'm just like, this movie from the fucking poster, I was like, I was promised goop and I want a goop. And then the scene came, it involves a placenta, and I immediately shut up for the rest of the movie.
I like how he
I
just
don't
pitched
like
it. I
this.
like how he pitched it to us. It involves a placenta. That's
I
just
don't
a
like
normal
this.
thing. It's just
I don't
normal.
like Tony. I don't like this.
Cool, bro. Cool. Placenta.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't like this.
Oh boy. It goes to some dark fucking places.
I don't like
And
this.
that scene is it's gonna be up there.
Damn.
It's gonna be up
I've
there.
seen two placentas in real life, and it's not a pleasant item to look at.
Yeah, I
Did,
can't imagine that.
Did the placenta walk?
Oh no.
Well, the one time it was during COVID, so maybe.
Okay, so I've given you two hints. It involves a placenta and the placenta walks.
Fuck me.
Wild. That's
Fuck me.
some wild thing.
Hats off to Shudder for delivering one for the sickos.
No kidding.
You can always count on Shudder for that. I wasn't that warm on it.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate it. There's better movies out there,
Yeah.
but it was one that'll stick with you for sure.
I'm going to commit to something right now, and I just determined it while we've been talking tonight. For October, for our usual Halloween jamboree.
That's gonna be the title of my new Halloween list.
Halloween jamboree?
The horror jamboree.
The horror jamboree. I like that. My list this year is going to be titled, and I promise I will stick with it. It is going to be Sicko Mode Halloween Jamboree. I am going to be depraved for 31 days. I'm going to watch the most fucked up shit that I can possibly imagine, except for what the fuck was it? Not Society. I will watch Society.
Sallow.
I've seen Sallow. No, what was the one that you like? You will never watch again, and I have no desire to watch it.
Cannibal Holocaust.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah, no,
I
I'm
was gonna
good.
say a Serbian film.
I still want to see that.
Oh
no.
I might do that. I'm not doing Cannibal Holocaust though. Everything that Dave's told me.
do Antichrist again.
I would love to do Antichrist again.
I have the criteria. Let's
I
do
know.
it.
All right, I'm in.
I want
I'm doing Sicko Mode.
I want you guys to watch Martyrs with me.
Okay.
He's been trying for at least a couple of years to do this. We got to
I'm
do
telling you, I'm going full Sicko Mode.
Friend of the podcast, Greg Durkach,
Yeah.
almost vomited in my living room watching that movie.
Incredible. Incredible.
Like we had to pause it so he could compose himself.
Incredible. I'm very excited now. But anyway, I'm calling it out right now. I'm going to start developing my list, and
It's just gonna be sick.
I'm
Sick,
gonna be a
twisted shit.
changed person after
Oh,
31
God.
days.
All right. You heard it here first.
Better put the sadness on there if you haven't seen that one yet.
Have I seen the sadness? No, I don't think I have.
You would remember.
Yeah.
You would remember.
I am probably gonna watch Houseu again though.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
'Cause it's just it's maybe not sicko, but it's fucked up.
It's a good one.
And I'll take that.
Do you you have the Criterion, don't you?
Of
House?
yes.
Okay.
Same. You need to. It's required.
And you have the shirt too, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we do have the shirt.
Yeah. I had to explain to my girlfriend what that cat was. I was like, "There's a film.
It's called Houseu.
There was a film that was developed in response to the existence of Jaws, a fact that continues to baffle me to this day."
I want to go home and watch House now.
I was gonna say I kind of want
Yeah, I wanna
to
watch
fall
Houseu.
asleep to Houseu tonight.
It's the best.
Fuck.
It's so
Why
it's
am you using that as my bedtime movie?
Absolutely.
I don't know if I want that to be a bedtime movie.
Absolutely.
Those aren't the
gosh.
dreams I want. That's not the vibes I want to have going into bed.
Let's cleanse our souls now, though.
Yes, please.
Let's move to a happier. Well, let's move to a subject matter that is more appropriate for all ages, while dealing with heavy adult themes, but still telling it in a way of accessible to children. Let's talk about Inside Out 2.
Yes.
But more broadly, let's talk about Pixar.
Sure. You've been doing this for like weeks now. So yes, let's
homie.
indulge us with your thoughts
So
on Pixar.
26 films I went through, because I realized Inside Out 2 is not on this list right now because I haven't updated it yet.
I was gonna say that's 27.
No, 26
I thought
with Inside Out 2.
it's 27 with Inside Out 2.
Nope. Maybe 27.
27.
Yes.
27 with Inside Out.
Is it? No,
It's
is
gotta
26.
be. No, it's got to be.
Then I'm missing one. Tell me what I'm missing.
Okay, I will write them all down and I will figure it. I will
I
figure
can
it out
tell
for
you.
you.
I can
No.
hear-
I want.
no.
I remember them from memory. I will commit them. I've committed them to memory.
I
Give me a
have them
moment. Give me a
all.
moment, motherfucker. You do your thing.
Oh my god!
You
You
do your
can't say
thing.
motherfucker while talking about Pixar.
I just did.
Ah.
Give me 10.
Yeah,
10
fine. Okay, so
two-
anyway,
2
so
minutes.
so we decided to take on, my girlfriend and I decided to take on the daunting task of watching every single Pixar movie. And
I'm looking forward to that list.
and it's out. You can
It's
watch
out.
it. You can look at it. It's public. I will explain that if you do look at my list on Letterboxd, which is public, the rankings are not mine. The way that it is ranked is
Oh, I've seen this list.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my girlfriend's ranks,
Yeah.
and the star ratings are mine. So it was a fun way to do both because you can sort the list either way and sort of see how we landed. But we decided to take on this task of watching every single one, including I took on the additional task of if there was a short attached to it during a theatrical, we watched the short before we watched the theatrical.
That's fair. That's fair.
That was a lot of fun to go through as well. I didn't realize that since the existence of Disney Plus, they basically stopped doing shorts and just started blasting out shorts en masse on Disney Plus with no fanfare, which I think is a complete disservice. Like even when we went to see Inside Out 2, and I'll take half a step back there and say, like, over COVID, I understand things were weird. It was hard to kind of do that. Fine. But we're severely post-pandemic lockdown shit times now. People are going out to theaters. I went and saw it at the drive-in. The drive-in was packed.
Oh yeah, this movie's doing gangbusters.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? I'm sure someone at Pixar has done a short. Like, bring them back. It was such a great way for a small short film to get recognized and released.
Yeah.
So it's sad that is kind of gone. Anyway, so that was the daunting task that we took on. We watched every single Pixar movie.
What's the Italian one?
Luca.
Luca.
Yeah.
Oh,
So one of the things that I noticed, and one of the things that I liked about going through them all, is, starting all the way back at Toy Story. We didn't start any time before Toy Story, so there were shorts before that, but whatever. We started at Toy Story, going through it, looking at it from both a technological side of things and a story side of things. You can kind of see sort of how Pixar, as just even as a studio, continued to grow. Like the voices obviously changed, of course, because
27.
What am I missing then? Dave's looking at my list now because apparently 26 doesn't make any sense.
Continue.
Do you have Inside Out 2 on there?
No, that's the only one I'm missing.
So that's the one you're missing.
That's the one you're missing.
No, because there's 25.
Keep talking.
So you can sort it a different way if you want. So it was interesting to watch it sort of grow as a studio and continually improve technologically speaking. Like the leaps that these guys made in graphic design and like animation is nuts. Like it's an obscene leap. The first two, not so much. Like between Toy Story and A Bug's Life, not much changes.
No.
It's still pretty cool. I also remember when I went to Disney World when I was like 12, before they had the Avatar area, they had a Bug's Life area. And I remember that area very well. What I didn't enjoy was A Bug's Life in general.
Really?
Yeah.
28.
28.
28. You have 27 on this list.
Oh, okay, great. So then I am good.
You're good. But there's 28.
Okay, good.
I missed one.
Oh, so we're all wrong.
I missed one. Do you want to know which one I missed?
Yeah, which one?
Can you guys guess which one I missed?
Was it
Bug's
Cars
Life?
2?
Onward.
Onward. Okay, I need to talk about Onward. Now that Dave has brought this to my attention that he forgot about it.
That was the last movie I saw in theaters in the before times. I saw it the week.
You went and saw it in the theaters?
Week. I saw it that week when everybody.
You were like one of the only ones I think that saw it.
I saw it when it came to VOD.
People were scared.
Yeah.
Like everybody was. That's when you couldn't reserve seats or whatever or whatever, and like people were just like nobody wanted to be near anybody.
Yeah.
Like shit was about because it was the week.
Yeah. When everything shut down.
Everything shut down.
Me and Melissa saw Invisible Man the week before, and that was our last one.
Yeah.
I was at a Lumineers concert the week everything shut down.
Oof.
Yeah. I'd never seen Onward. I missed it. When it came out on VOD, I never ended up watching it because there was just so much other shit going on. The pandemic was a weird time. So I never watched it, but I did when we went through all of this, and I fucking loved it.
Really?
I really enjoyed it. I think it is a severely underrated Pixar movie.
Really?
If you haven't seen it since, you should.
I've seen it.
I remember ugly crying at the end.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, Pixar does that. I honestly needed a box of tissues beside me for literally all of this.
Ugly cried.
Yeah. It's something.
Yeah.
It's something. Anyway, I was just really surprised. I didn't know that much about it. I think it got the shaft because of COVID.
Yeah.
COVID really fucked that movie.
It's Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes. And I mean, like, Tom Holland is Tom Holland, Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt, and that doesn't really change.
They're themselves.
They are themselves. But really, really and truly, I did really enjoy. I really enjoyed Onward.
I liked it better the second time I saw it, but I still think it's mid.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's top tier. It's not my number one. It's not even. It's barely in my top 10. But it surprised me with how good it really was for a movie that's not talked about as much. That's, I think, what I'm getting at with Onward.
Sure.
But anyway, so watching the entire studio kind of grow technologically as you're watching every single one of these, to a point where we just were like, I can't even rate this on an animation scale anymore. It's just, it is the top of its game. Like there's nothing better than what Pixar is kind of doing animation wise. Like they're very, very good at what they do. They invented technology. There was there was a movie that we were watching the other day, and we got to the end credits, and actually I think it might have been Planet of the Apes. No. It was Lord of the Rings. And it was like rendered with RenderMan, which is the Pixar rendering program.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck, look at that. It's there. Like they have such a huge reach. They develop so much technology that it just like there's no question anymore.
Yeah.
But even just seeing that growth through, but also what they have to do later on. I know I'm just talking a lot about Pixar, but what they had to do later on where they started revisiting the movies that came out way before, like when they started going through the sequels of Toy Story. By the time you get to Toy Story 4, it is such a weird fine line that they have to thread, because like the characters that they designed in 1994 you're now shoving into a movie where you have technology from, you know, the 2000s. Like it's so much better, but they have to like scale it back because you can't redesign the characters because the characters are so iconic. You can't touch it. So you can make small improvements. You can change the lighting. You can change the way the reflections happen off these characters. You can make their material a little bit more realistic looking and less plasticky, but still plasticky because they need to be plasticky, but more plasticky in a way. It's just like all these, they had to thread this needle so finely. And I don't know. I think they just did a really good job that way. Story wise, it's all over the map.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about the story wise, because I feel like they haven't really, maybe post Toy Story 3, I would say.
Yeah.
Is that when things kind of changed?
Yeah. I think Toy Story 3 was a weird turning point for them.
Because everything after Toy Story 3, it's a lot of sequels, but it's also a lot of just, they don't have the same level of creativity and uniqueness. With some
exceptions to that. But by and large, absolutely. Their original content dropped off a cliff.
Yes.
Because like prior to Toy Story 3, you had Ratatouille, you had WALL-E, you had Up. After Toy Story 3, you had Cars 2, Brave, which I really wanted Brave. First time I've ever saw Brave.
We talked about it.
Yeah. I wanted Brave to be a better movie than it was.
Yeah. I don't like revisiting it.
And then, you know, like Inside Out, the first Inside Out happens, which was a revelation and like a really, really cool thing. But then they went right back down with The Good Dinosaur immediately after, which, what the fuck are we doing?
I think it speaks to when you listen to them talk about how they develop different films.
Yeah.
In the older times, they threw out ideas.
Yes.
If it wasn't working, they got rid of it and they retooled it from the bottom up. And if it still wasn't working, they junked it. Like that Newt movie got junked.
Yeah.
But I feel like The Good Dinosaur was a movie that just got reworked a couple of times and they just went with it.
Even Brave, same thing. That movie I know got reworked a couple of times and they were just like, good enough. Yeah. And it's like, but it's not. Like,
it won best animated, so maybe it is.
That's a different conversation, though.
I know it is.
Because not only are they always consistently entitled to a nomination, generally they win, sometimes over superior films. Sometimes there's literally nothing else that's as good, and they will win sort of by default. But
that's fair. That's fair. You missed Monsters University in there when you were talking about the post Toy Story.
I did skip over Monsters University.
I really like that movie.
So do I.
And I really like the end. I really like the boldness of the ending.
So do I. I think
that's a bold ending for a kid's movie.
Yeah. I wasn't touching on it for a reason. I was kind of leaving that one as I was trying to go over what you were saying about the sequels and being diminishing returns. But yes, it is a diamond in the rough.
I know it's not one that people like. I know people don't like it.
Correct, but I think they should.
I also think they should. I also think they should.
Very good.
It's funny.
Yes.
It's funny.
And it's
and I love the characters in that movie.
It's such an expansion on the world. Like Monsters Inc. First of all, Monsters Inc. is an incredible fucking piece of work that builds an entire world in like 5 minutes. Like you understand the complete inner machinations of the monster world in 5 minutes. It is nuts the amount of storytelling they pack into it that works so well. that movie's fucked.
And that the chase scene at the end on the doors.
Incredible.
So
It's just
good.
mind-blowingly good.
That movie gets better every time I watch it.
Absolutely.
Like,
But then
so-
to go off that movie and say,
Yeah.
we're going to make a prequel, and it just continues to expand the world where you're like, holy shit. Like, I didn't, like, there's Monster Frats. I loved the Monster Frats. I loved the scare contest. I loved all of it. It was so charming. And, like, even though it was, you know, still John Goodman and Billy Crystal, it was, they're younger, and yeah, it didn't matter. Like, you know, it's John Goodman, but it's teenage John Goodman in a way. It's very, very weird.
I love the mom listening to death metal. I'm just gonna listen to my tunes. Just
Yeah.
death metal.
Yeah, and also like the, you know, Randy's sort of descent into an evil Randall's descent into an evil character where he's like, I'll lose the glasses, and that's where the squint come from. That's fucking wild. He's squinting just because he needs glasses.
Have you guys watched the show?
No.
I watched the first season. I haven't watched the second season yet, but the first season's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's enjoyable. The second season, apparently, they bring in some of the characters from Monsters University
Nice.
because I know Nathan Fillion shows up for sure.
Yeah.
But John Goodman and Billy Crystal are
They're not the leads
they're not the leads.
They're not the
but
leads. They're in the-
they're in the
Yeah.
show though.
because it's basically like immediately after Monsters Inc. ends,
Yeah,
like where they pivot from scaring to like jokes.
yeah.
And the kid it centers around is like the top scarer, and he's like walking in day one when they're doing jokes now.
Huh.
So he kind of has to like redo everything.
That's
type
funny.
thing. And then he like ends up in janitorial, and fucking Henry Winkler's there and Mindy Kaling, and it's
wild.
wild.
That's wild.
It is
Nice.
wild. It's fun. It's not as good as the movies, but I did enjoy watching the first season. I really want to watch the second season.
Nice.
Yeah. So the only other thing I want to ask both of you about as well, and it's only because some of these were more recent, and it was basically COVID. I almost like to think that Pixar probably had 3 eras. They had the original eras where they were just really pumping out really solid pieces of work. Then they had your post Toy Story 3 era, which was diamonds in the rough at best. And then there was the COVID era. That was kind of, I think it's weird 4th era, but not so much in terms of the films, almost in terms of the way that Disney was handling the films. Because so Onward got the shaft because of COVID.
Yeah.
Soul was fine.
It's just fine.
It's
Just
just
fine.
it still remains fine.
It's just
Yeah.
fine. I really
Yeah.
like that barbershop scene, but it's
Yes.
just fine.
Yeah, more like
It's
that
just
barbershop scene, please. The rest,
And I know
It
a
was
lot.
just
Of,
fine, yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a lot of. I know a lot of African American critics didn't like the idea that a white woman was inside the body of a black man, and then he was inside. Wasn't he inside the cat?
yes, he was
Yeah.
inside the cat. Yes,
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird. I love the music, and I love the animation, but I don't love the movie.
I don't really remember Soul, to be honest with you guys.
It's not very good.
It's not super memorable. I do enjoy, and I'll never forget Terry Time, because Terry's great, and I also love Rachel House, because she's not used enough except by Taika Waititi. So I'm just glad she got to do something else.
It's just like, I don't know if you've ever heard how Pixar movies can be distilled down to if X has feelings.
Yeah.
So it's like, if toys had feelings, that's
Yeah.
Toy Story. If emotions had feelings,
yeah.
it's Inside Out.
Yeah,
If Italians had feelings, it's Luca.
Yeah.
So it's like, if souls have feelings, Soul.
Yeah. yeah, yeah.
I just love if Italians.
Yeah, if Italians had feelings. Yeah. Also, Luca, what a fucking okay. Also, fine.
Animation's
not-
great.
Animation's
I
great.
really like the
amazing.
animation.
Animation's great.
It's a
Story,
lousy
ugh.
movie. Ugh.
Yeah. Turning Red, fantastic.
Silencio Bruno.
Yeah, fuck Silencio Bruno. You can
He
Silencio
was-
to
Our
death.
cousin was so mad.
So mad.
The double
Two in
header
a row.
2 in a row. He was
Two in a
so
row.
mad.
Silencio Bruno, and then we don't talk about Bruno. I don't
He's
know
like,
what Bruno's did to people.
What's Bruno do to people?
I don't know.
So you come to Turning Red.
Yeah.
And I think Turning Red is, I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's their
It's
best
incredible.
one in the like,
Yeah.
I would say it's their best one since Coco, probably.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Incredibles 2, mostly because I have a thing for Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah.
Or Elastigirl.
Okay.
Elastigirl,
And actually, just before you get into Turning Red itself, because that was Domi Shi,
yeah.
who also did Bao.
Yeah, she won the Oscar for Bao.
But like, what the? Comes back to my fucking point about shorts. Like that release, like Bao released attached to a movie, Incredibles, and it's such a good short, and like the world was able to see it because if you went to the theater to see Incredibles, Bao was there. And then she got to do a full fucking movie out of it. And like, I don't know. I loved that pipeline that they had that they've lost. And I wish it came back. Sorry, continue.
The Pixar shorts are good though.
They are good.
They're very good. There's some interesting ones on there.
Yes, I agree.
But I agree with you that
it's hard to get that wider audience because no one really seeks out shorts. I find general public. We seek out shorts, but the general public doesn't seek out shorts. So it was like a good vehicle to like get someone to watch a short.
What, the Jackalope one? I like that one. Boundin'.
Boundin's great.
So I took Quentin that when this year they started doing, or they brought Soul, Luca, and Turning Red back to theater, to theaters.
Yeah.
And I took him to see Turning Red because I was like, this is his favorite. Like, he loved the shit out of this movie. We're going to see this in the theater. And they played, what was the one they played with it? Cat Bull? Is that it?
Kit Bull.
They played Kit Bull with it. So it was interesting that they played that short.
Yeah.
But then Inside Out didn't have a short.
Yeah. Right.
I don't remember if Elemental did either.
It did not.
Okay. But yeah, Kit Bull was played with Turning Red in theater.
Yeah.
And when they re-released it.
Yeah. That is interesting because it wasn't technically, it didn't have a short with it. But anyway.
But I love Turning Red.
So do I.
I love it. Unabashedly love it.
Yeah. Also, Elemental is good. It's not great, but
if
I think
Canadians have feelings.
What?
Turning Red if Canadians have feelings.
Yeah, Turning Red is if Canadians have feelings. Elements have feelings. Elemental. But Elemental really did resonate with my girlfriend. And I feel like if you have more of an immigrant experience to this country, it hits a completely different way than it did for me. Like, I thought it was good. She was like, no, this is so good. Like, I was not expecting to feel the way that I'm feeling. So I think there's an audience. It's a more of a niche target on that one.
But that's why they're pivoting now, because they don't want it to be niche.
Yes, correct. They want wide appeal.
Right. They want wide appeal versus Luca, which is very much a queer coming of age story.
Yeah. Yep.
Turning Red, which is about
puberty, isn't it?
It's about it's about puberty,
coming of age.
It's about puberty, but it's also about generational trauma.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And it's specifically focused around an Asian family.
Yeah.
Right.
And, Lightyear, which was a movie about a toy that. Yeah.
Anyway,
we won't talk about Lightyear.
Lightyear is Lightyear, but then Elemental is more of an immigrant story type thing.
Absolutely.
Right. So like they're pivoting, and then Soul is
is jazz.
Is jazz.
What if jazz had feelings?
An African American perspective type thing, or they try. Right. So like they're pivoting out of that, and I know that's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Because Inside Out, like, I know we're going to get into it, but it's much more.
But let's get into it.
Wide appeal. Well, I wanted to talk about Elemental for a second because I get where she's coming from. Yeah. But I also think it's a mess.
Oh, it is.
I think
she doesn't disagree with that, and I don't either. It is a mess.
It's a mess, and I think that.
But there's nuggets in there that are very good.
I would agree, and it did well at the box office after the first weekend. Like it stuck. It was the kind of movie that we used to get where it sticks around for weeks, as opposed to
alternate programming.
Blows out the first weekend, and then just nobody goes to see it afterwards. Yeah. But it's so messy. That's what I dislike about the movie is it's not clean. It needs to be cleaner. It's definitely one that would fit into that first era.
Yep.
But it's not clean enough.
Correct.
And I hate that they're like, I love the water effects in that movie. The water effects are incredible.
Like
it's just like
the world building in that one.
Yeah.
That one
Like-
was really well done, but like again, to your point, it's
a mess.
It's a mess. It's a
Yeah,
mess. It has
it's a mess.
It has
Yeah.
like pockets of gold. 'Cause
Yes.
I remember that one was an emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
too, because I'm just like fuck, like,
And it's a love story. It's their first like full blown love
Full-blown
story.
love story,
like,
yeah.
and so you have these good elements and everything. It just needed to be fine tuned a little bit
Yeah,
more
absolutely.
to bring it over the.
And
Yeah.
I mentioned Mamadou earlier.
Yeah.
He's the co-lead in that.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is, and he's great in it.
He's very good in it. Very, very good in it. And yeah, I just think that movie's a mess.
Yep.
And I've watched it again since, and like I haven't really changed. I remember when I saw it in the theater, I was just like, "What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What are they going for here?" And then learning like about what's his? I think the name of the director is Peter Sohn.
Is
that his name?
It is Peter Sohn. Yeah.
Okay. And like hearing how important it was to him, because it's like there's autobiographical elements into it. It's just like when you're watching it, you're like, well, why the fuck is it all over the place? Why isn't it? Why isn't it cleaner?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so disappointing because
Yeah.
it's like that's the first one in a while out of that second and third era where it's like everything's here. It's just not
It's
in
just
the right
yeah,
order. What are
yeah,
you doing?
yeah. It's just not clean enough.
It's not clean enough, and it's a movie where it goes back to the point of if it's not working, throw it out.
Yeah.
It's working. It's just you don't have like why isn't it?
You need to take a little
it
bit
needed
more
the
time to
fine-tuning,
fine
yeah.
tuning.
And
Yeah.
it's too fucking long too.
That too.
It is long.
Way
That too.
too fucking long.
Yeah.
That could have been a clean like 85, 90 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It just needed
And if you tightened
and
it a
better
bit
focus.
and it had a better focus, that movie probably would have been a banger.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yes. Okay. Let's
So-
open it up to Inside Out.
So now we go to Inside Out 2, which is the newest release.
Yes. Killing it at the box office. Going to be a monumental
Killing it at the
monumental
box
success.
office.
Going to it's going to kill it.
The drive-in was packed, homies, packed.
I'm not surprised at all.
It was also a weird pairing with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and let me tell you
That's
how
an odd-
quickly
that's an odd pairing.
the drive-in emptied after
I
Inside
bet.
Out 2.
You
I
guys
bet.
say that, but it's like Disney is greedy.
Yeah, I get
Disney
Yeah.
wants the money, so
Yeah, I get
clearly
it.
they're going to pair it off
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the Disney
I get
movie and not.
that. I get. It's
And
just
like
a
it could have been
weird-
worse. It could have been The Omen, the first Omen.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only other option they had. It was either Planet of the
Yeah.
Apes or the first Omen.
They should have done the first Omen.
They don't want to pair it with like I know some of the pairings are with Garfield, but they don't
Yeah.
want to share the money with Sony.
No,
And that's
no.
why Planet of the Apes suddenly was like number 3 or something at the box
again,
office
'cause
and only
they
dropped
started
like
pairing all of them
because they
yeah.
paired it off and everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's holding. Oh, it's doing so well. It's coming back after 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like
But
no
one check the drive-in listings.
Go look
yeah.
at the drive-in listings.
Yeah.
They're taking the they're
Yeah.
giving
They're
some of the
double-dipping.
they're double
Yeah.
dipping and giving some of the money to Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. So anyway, Inside Out 2.
Tell me what Inside Out 2 is about.
So it's the continuation. We are following Riley and her emotions as she now navigates puberty.
Mhm.
Congratulations, everyone. It's a coming of age movie. No, I'm kidding. But kinda.
Kinda.
is.
So it's dealing with newer complex emotions in as Riley goes through hockey camp before she starts high school.
Yes.
And all of the things that she experiences as a preteen who's trying to fit in.
Well, she's a teenager now. She's 13.
Okay, as a teenager who's trying to fit in.
They do a really beautiful job at the beginning, kind of like telling you what's happened since
Oh yeah,
Inside Out.
The,
It's
Yeah,
like
the recap's amazing.
Yeah.
the recap
it's
is
great.
really well done.
yeah. It's I will say like it's a lot of fun. Like it's immediately joy. Like I love Inside Out.
It's the first one.
The first one, yes. So I was very, very excited for this one, and it really didn't disappoint. I felt very like, yay! Like this is gonna be great.
Okay.
That's how I felt going into it.
Going in. Okay.
Yes.
So how did you feel watching it then?
I felt seen. It felt a little too real. It felt a little bit difficult at times to watch. But I think it's probably the best personification of very, 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 very complex emotional pieces of a human I think that I've ever seen. Like, it's very easy to digest what's happening, but it's also so fucking real. Like, anxiety is such a real thing. I was like, holy
Anxiety's a bitch. Yeah.
fuck. Like, this is wild levels of accuracy. Like, you get to a full-blown panic attack in this. Like, that's nuts. And like, to see it happen in the way that they, visualized it and came up with it is incredible. I think it does a little bit of like treading over old territory again, which is fine for the most part. But like, when they take the trip down to Riley's brain for, they're forced to take a trip through Riley's brain. Part of it is very much like, this again. Cool. Okay. That's cool. But they do a lot of fun things. Like, the sarcasm is incredible.
I do like the sarcasm.
I love the sarcasm so much. And the fact that it like changes their speech across the chasm. Fucking excellent. Also, John Ratzenberger's back doing voices, and I love that man. He's been in everything since Toy Story, and it's just so great to hear his exact tone.
I don't think he there was a couple he wasn't in.
There was a couple he wasn't in, yeah, but it was nice to have him back.
Nice to have him back.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes, Dave.
I was let down.
Really?
Didn't like it.
Really?
Didn't like it. I thought it was really mid.
Really?
Mostly because I love Turning Red, and it's going on the same. It feels like Turning Red and Inside Out smashed together. It felt like they already went over a lot of these themes in Turning Red. And to your point about going through her brain again, I didn't feel the same wonder and the same level of insight and the same level of I'm trying to think of how to say it. I just thought the first one was so much more interesting. And I thought that they did so much more with the first one that the second one, when the second one comes, you're kind of just watching it and you're like, yeah, okay, I think what's her name does really well as anxiety.
Yeah.
What's Maya Hawke?
Maya Hawke does great.
And then who's Envy? It's the girl from Bottoms and
Ayo Edebiri.
She's fine.
Yep.
She's fine. I love Ennui because I love Adele.
Oh,
I love
Ennui.
Ennui. Yeah.
No notes for Ennui.
I love Adele, and I love the whole cell phone thing. I think that's fucking golden.
Ennui was great.
But
perfect.
Like, embarrassment was just like, eh. And they keep making jokes about nostalgia, our girl June Squibb.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I loved nostalgia.
Nostalgia was great too. Every time nostalgia showed up.
I just feel like they didn't do enough to explore the world. Like, and they made anxiety the villain, which I don't like. I don't like that she's a villain. At least for a good chunk of the movie, she's a villain.
Okay.
I don't like that. Like, the whole idea of Inside Out was like, there's no real villain. It's just navigating your emotions. And I like in this movie that at least the centerpiece ending third act thing is like one hockey game versus her walking for up the block for 5 or 6 hours.
Her wandering the streets of San Francisco.
Yeah. I thought that was watching that again more than once. You're like, how fucking long is she walking for, guys?
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I was just let down, and I don't think it didn't do anything for me. Like, I didn't feel the emotional beats that I wanted. I thought, I think it's just because I loved Inside Out so much, and it resonated so much with me that when I got to this, I was just like, yeah, I get your points about the about realism, and I do like the anxiety attack or a panic attack. I like all of that. It's just like Joy's doing the exact same thing as she did before. She's not learning anything new. The one scene where she like actually like gets upset, I like that, but they don't really dive into that. And then they don't really show off, other than sarcasm, they don't really show off like the new world very much. Like, they go into that one little like deck of cards room thing where she's making them come up with all the awful things that could happen. Yeah. Which is funny, but that was as deep as it got, and like the deep dark secrets that don't really amount to much. And that fucking dog thing, like, ha ha ha, but he's a weak replacement for Bing Bong.
The dog.
Is it a dog? Is that what it is?
In the secret.
The secret room in the deep dark secrets. It's like
the
TV,
the 2D animated dog. Yeah,
like I thought the way they animated it was really cool, but like he's the Bing Bong replacement and he's weak sauce.
No, fucking Pouchy's the Bing Bong replacement, and I love Pouchy.
Still weak sauce.
Pouchy was funny.
Pouchy got
like
throated, Dave. Pouchy got throated.
He did get throated. You're right.
Incredible for a Pixar movie that we just watched. We just watched Anger shove his fist into Pouchy and continually pull out dynamite. It was, and he's like gargling, like it was fucking. Are you kidding me? In a Pixar movie? That's nuts.
Okay, fine. I will give you that.
That's
but it's
sicko
not
behavior.
It's not Bing Bong.
No, it is not.
It's not Bing Bong.
It is not Bing Bong, and I will
Bing Bong
agree.
still hurts.
Yeah, Bing Bong will always hurt. Tony, he still hurt the second time I watched it, and the third and the fourth.
Crushed.
And the 10th,
just
and the
crushed.
11th, the 12th.
Tony,
I just wasn't as emotionally invested in it as I was. Like I literally watched the first one leading up to 2. I think I watched it a couple days before, and I was literally like 10 minutes in on the go train, and I was fighting back tears.
Sure.
Like there's just such an emotional attachment to Inside Out that like when I was listening to Dave talk, I was just thinking, I was just like, when you hit it as big as you did with the first Inside Out, it was hard. You were never going to be able to top it. And you were never even going to be able to come close to what the original Inside Out was. And I think it was just that. Like it was still Inside Out 2 was definitely a solid movie. I definitely some of it resonated with me. The whole anxiety bit. I'm like you, James. I definitely felt seen. And I was like, wow, this feels this is hitting a little too close to home. There's definitely those moments in it, but I was going in there expecting like I was going to be emotionally crippled like I was in the first one. Yeah. And no, I didn't get that as emotional as I wanted to be.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree. To your points, and kind of as I said, like they retreaded a lot of ground in this. Which
they were going through the same beats, right?
Yeah, I have absolutely no qualm. That is 100% fair, and I completely agree with it. They retreaded a lot. They didn't really expand on anything that happened in our mind, save the chasm. Everything else was kind of just like, oh, we've been here before, but oh look, it's been repurposed, sort of thing.
Yeah.
To the point about Joy, I think they didn't do enough.
No,
they started something that was like, oh, and like, because even at points like she was admitting, like it's really hard to constantly be happy all the time.
That's probably one of the best. That and your panic attack scene are probably the best scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah,
and it's a really good scene.
Yes, and I also think because of the way that they split things, I think the overall message kind of got lost too, because it was really kind of rushed at the end with, they had the dam blocking all these bad memories, and they kind of show a flashback of Joy who was just like, oh, we'll just chuck this one in the bin sort of thing. And it's like, we're only keeping good memories, and that's what's going to form her sense of self. And they start off with a sense of self. And then they get into anxiety, creating a new sense of self. But I think they didn't do enough with that whole damn thing of what they were basically doing to Riley at the beginning was trying to create the best sense of self, whereas every single person is a very complex person. And like, I think the message kind of gets a little bit lost there, but that is really what like its overall force is. And I think that's something to be admired of like and I'm taking myself out of my own seat for a second that like I'm 34, so I get it, but like, it would be great if I had that, like also as a kid, to realize that like, you don't have to think that you're the best and you're the happiest, everybody likes me, or am I enough? You can be a complex person. You don't have to worry. Like everything that you go through can inform who you are as a person. And that's fine. Like it's okay.
We got a lot of that in the first one though too.
No, you didn't.
You don't think so?
No.
I like the whole joy sadness thing.
joy, sadness, yes,
Joy,
that she
sadness.
has to live with two emotions, but now we're talking about a sense of
Yes.
self.
But yes, which was missing from the
Of
first
who
movie.
am I? But it was Riley was too young to get into that. And like, so I think it's following the right sort of path for where you would be when you're trying to figure out who you are as a person. That's, 13 is about the right time when you start figuring out who the fuck you are.
I didn't figure out who I was until I was well into my 20s.
Yeah. It takes a while for
It does take
people.
a while.
But like, it's just it's a way to deliver that kind of message that, I don't know, they could have done more with that as well. Like everything, that bit felt rushed at the end, especially with that mountain of memories. And it was just like, oh, quick flashback. By the way, this is what we did. And now we're going to blow it up. And now it was just like, and we're done. And yes, also to your point, I didn't feel as emotionally crippled by this movie.
I think it's rushed. I think it was just, and I don't think, to your point about the gradual greater animation, I don't think it's as much of a leap forward as Elemental was. I think Elemental was definitely a leap forward, but I do not think Inside Out is.
No, it's more of the same.
It's very much the same.
It's very much the same. Like it looks very
It looks
like
very good, but so
it looks
did Inside
good.
Out.
It looks good, but it doesn't. It's not.
Yeah.
the river and when they go down and they put the memories in the water and then it goes up, like that looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
But it's very much the first one.
Yeah.
And with like a little bit more of a better color grade.
Yeah.
We'll say.
Yeah, I just wasn't as blown away by the visuals, and I wasn't blown away by the story. I was just setting myself up. Like I to Tony's point, I knew it wasn't going to be Inside Out.
Yeah.
But I did expect more emotional resonance. I expected more of an emotional feel because, well, Pixar movies are definitely emotionally crippling.
Yes.
And there's always something in them for everybody.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to pull something out from everything, and you can pull something out of this. It's just, I don't know. I just don't feel when I was sitting there with Tony and I was sitting there with Quinny and we were watching it, and I was just like, nah, this isn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
I was let down. It was like the first one where I was just like let down.
Yeah. That's harsh, to be honest.
When you're like Elemental, yeah, it wasn't good type thing. And Lightyear, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like
You weren't let down by Lightyear?
no, but it's not.
That was one of my big disappointments.
It's like I just didn't like it.
Sure.
Luca, I just wasn't too hot on. I wasn't too hot on.
So we're coming
Onward.
into Inside Out you wanted to like and you can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. I wanted to like it more and it let me down.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to be better versus the other ones where I just watched them and I just went in hoping it would be good. Like hoping for Pixar instead of getting mid.
Okay.
Right. And this one, I
That's
wanted
fair.
it to be better,
Sure.
but it's not.
Okay.
So they're still in their mid period for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they need to pick it up and they need to start they just need to go back to, I know they can't go back to it, but like we're going to learn the wrong lessons from Inside Out too. Like
Possibly.
it hitting bank type thing.
Yeah.
All they're going to do is pump out more sequels now.
Yeah. Which
That's
is
it.
not what anyone actually wants.
Which is not what anyone actually wants. Like we go back to this period. Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles. These are all very different movies.
Yeah.
Cars, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up, Toy Story 3. Like, yeah, we have the fucking 3 Toy Story movies, but everything else is very different.
Yeah.
And like, WALL-E is literally like 45 minutes of not talk. Like,
It's a silent movie.
It's a silent movie for 45
Basically.
minutes, and then it's fucking ecological space thriller for the rest, and a romantic melodrama too.
Yep.
That's fucking incredible.
Yep.
And like the ideas and the uniqueness that went into that are
Absolutely.
incredible.
Absolutely.
Up the most emotionally crippling fucking 10-minute intro ever put to film.
Yep.
And then just
It doesn't really let up from there.
It doesn't let up from there, and just wonder.
Yeah.
Just so much wonder. And then the first Inside Out, just wonder, and just you're just exploring the mind, and it's so interesting what they're trying to do and what they're showing. And it's a kid's movie, but it's not. And you're getting all these different things, and they're talking about emotions and the complexity of that. And then they kind of bring it into this where, we're still getting complexity and you're getting more complexity, but it's not unique. It doesn't have a flavor. It doesn't feel like Pixar. It just feels like they're just retreading.
Yep.
They're just,
And that's fair.
and
That's all fair.
And now that they're making all this money, that's all they're going to do. They're not going to go back to fucking throwing out WALL-E, or
Yeah.
Up.
And to be honest, looking at my list, none of the sequels, save for Monsters University and Toy Story 3, those are the only two that even touched the top 10. The rest were far below that.
I have Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 for sure in the top 10. I know that.
Yeah, I don't like Toy Story 2 as much.
I really love Toy Story 2.
Yep.
I think it might also be just a nostalgia thing, but
Yeah.
I do love that movie. And I like Incredibles 2 more than most people.
Yeah, that's
I
a you
also
thing.
like-
I'll let you have that
I also
one.
like Incredibles 2, but
I
I
don't.
love Incredibles 1.
Yeah, I
Incredibles
like
1,
Incredibles 1. I don't
Incredibles.
like Incredibles 2 as much.
Yeah.
But if we're
And
talking
it's
about
fine.
retreads, that is very much
Oh
a
yeah,
retread.
Incredibles 2 is basically like
Hey, did you watch
gen-
Incredibles? Here it is all
Yeah.
over
A
again.
gender swap.
a
Yeah.
gender swap? Yeah.
But Jack and the Raccoon, though.
Yeah.
But yes, I will give you that. I like it more than most people, and I don't know
Yeah.
why I can't explain that.
But most of the sequels don't even come close.
Don't come
to-
close,
No,
right?
they won't. What are you going to talk about? Cars 2 or Cars 3, please?
Or Finding Dory.
Or Finding Dory. Finding Dory does-
I like
Finding
it.
Dory. I like it.
I
I
like
don't
it.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Again,
I like
it's just-
I like some of the ideas in it, and
Yeah.
it's not exactly a clear retread. Like,
Correct.
they try to do something different, but I
Yeah.
like it. Don't love it, and like I don't like Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
It's the epilogue nobody
yeah,
wanted.
No one
Yeah.
wanted it.
Nobody wanted it. Now
Just
they're doing
let it go.
and now
Toy
they're
Story
doing
5.
Toy Story
5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
Let these characters die.
Which means that the ending of Toy Story 3, which has already been perverted for Toy Story 4, they're going to redo
None
it
of it
again.
matters.
None of
Yeah.
it matters.
None of it matters.
None of it matters.
It's like
None of it
consistently.
matters.
Yeah.
Because it's very clear what has to happen. Woody has to get back.
Yeah.
That's like, what else can the movie be about?
yeah.
It's got to involve Woody getting back.
Yeah. Unless they really throw us a curveball and Woody's not even in it.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't have a Toy Story. You want to know what? You can't have a Toy Story movie without Woody and Buzz as Tim Allen as Buzz.
Yeah.
And Lightyear tells us that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Lightyear tells us that. And we were talking recently, if that movie was positioned as the movie that got him into Buzz Lightyear type thing and what he wanted, like made him want a Buzz Lightyear, bullshit asshole. You wanted socks.
Yeah.
You wanted a fucking I watched that movie. I want
I
fucking
want
socks.
socks.
There's no way a fucking 5-year-old watches that
moment-
movie
the
and like, I want a
moment-
Buzz Lightyear. No, you want the fucking cat.
No, the moment socks hit the screen, I was like, I want socks. I don't.
Yeah.
I will do anything. I will carve
I
out my
will
own
sell
kidney
my
with a
left
spoon.
nut for fucking
Yeah,
socks.
give me a socks
Like
right now.
there's no way any kid would watch this movie and want
Buzz.
Buzz. They want socks.
They want socks because socks is the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he
I
might
get-
actually be voiced by Peter Sohn, I think.
Yes, he is. He is voiced by Peter Sohn.
I had to rewatch these movies again because I don't remember some of them.
Anyway, I highly recommend it. It is a
Yeah.
fun time. I would, if you go through it, do what I did and pair it with the short. It makes it a
Nice.
lot of fun because
Yeah.
you get to see some things that maybe you would not have
Absolutely.
ever watched.
I gotta watch Lightyear beginning to end.
Oh, I've seen it all.
I've never seen it
Fuck
all in
It's-
one sitting.
Fuck that movie.
You won't enjoy it
I know I won't, but I've seen the whole thing
just in pieces.
just in pieces. I've
Yeah.
never watched
Yeah.
it start to finish.
I fucking hate Lightyear. I do really want to watch Ratatouille again. I hold
Ratatouille's
I
awesome.
hold Ratatouille in a very high place.
Ratatouille is very, very good.
Yeah.
Ratatouille's fun. Yeah, and I liked it. I liked it more than my girlfriend did. Retreading it, it's also fine. I like Coco a lot too. By the way,
Yeah, I do
don't-
like
people don't talk enough
emotional
about
cri-
Coco, but like I
emotionally
like Coco
crippling.
a lot.
I do like Coco. We talked about it,
Yeah.
like how it didn't deserve the song, but like it's a good movie.
No, correct. Yes,
It's
absolutely.
a good movie.
So then to wrap this long winding conversation up that maybe didn't have much of a point, but was a lot of fun to talk about.
Well, we finally talked about all this Pixar stuff
Oh,
since
God.
you kept fucking bringing it up for
Hey,
weeks.
it was a long
I understand.
time to
I
get
did
through
it too.
all of it.
I did it too. I
from
watched them
back
all
to back.
I watched them in 20-minute increments with
Yeah,
Quentin
that's a
for
lot.
like
Yeah.
for like 6 or 8 months.
Yeah,
like
it's a
it
lot.
took all like we
Yeah.
watched Toy Story over like 5 days.
You know, can I talk about one thing that we've has changed its rank constantly since we started this? It was near dead last and it has slowly clawed its way out of dead last only because we consistently keep quoting it. It's A Bug's Life. I don't know why. We keep quoting this fucking movie, and it just has moved spots as we watch other Pixar movies. We're just like, nah, no, this is worse than A Bug's Life.
I moved it up a couple of spots.
Yeah.
That was one of Melissa's favorites, and
I don't know about favorite. That's
no,
tough.
I'm saying like I think she has a nostalgic feeling because she watched it a lot when she was a kid.
Yeah.
But since me and her moved in, we bought A Bug's Life on Blu-ray, and we've watched it multiple times since then, and it keeps like right.
It's
like,
not great.
It's not great. But it has moments. It's got some charm.
A lot of Kevin Spacey jump scares.
Yeah. Oh God. You know what? It's not Cars 2 is what it is not.
It pairs nice with ants.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So where do we land then on Inside Out 2? Well, I know where Dave lands. It's in the bin.
I didn't say it was in the bin. I just said it was in the mid-range. I wanted it to be a better movie, and I wanted to feel more out of it. And I feel like a lot of the feelings I would have liked taking out of it, I already felt on Turning Red.
Fair. Tone?
Temper your expectations. Definitely seek it out. It is definitely a great movie, but it is not the first one. Correct.
And I think I land sort of more towards your side. Maybe kind of in between. I think I'm a high mid. It's a solid movie, but temper your expectations. Yeah. Don't expect Inside Out. Don't expect Turning Red's level of uniqueness. It's going to be a lot of some of the same retreads. You know what? Let me put it this way. Expect a Pixar sequel, late stage Pixar sequel, and I don't think you'll be let down at that point. It's a lot of retreading. It's a lot of same things that maybe you've seen before. There is some good stuff in there that is great, and it is very Pixar, but it's not peak Pixar.
No,
it's not close to top 10 Pixar.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Definitely. But Ennui, though.
But Ennui forever.
Love Ennui.
I am Ennui. I'm not Ennui. I wish I was Ennui. I need to be more chill. But with that, I think that wraps us up then.
I think so.
You feel good?
I feel good. I feel like this is a good point to wrap her up.
Yeah, I agree.
Although I could bring up some new blues. You want me to bring in some new blues? No. Yeah, maybe. No.
What are the titles of a new blue? Give me one new blue that you got.
The Long Good Friday, the Arrow one.
Tony, did you get a new blue recently?
I got two new blues, 4K editions of Gorgo. One day I'll pronounce the name right. Gorgo and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Nice.
Both from Vinegar Syndrome.
I think
Big shout outs.
I think my new blue is still Dune 2. I think that's as far back as I am still.
That was awful.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, Tony.
That was awful.
I do it for Melissa all the time. She loves it.
It's great. I bet. Do you scream that out? 2:00 in the morning. She's trying to sleep.
I'm gonna switch her ringtone.
Yeah. Switch the alarm. Yeah.
You wish she would call you the liaison al Gaib, don't you?
It's fine. It's
as
fine.
written. Anyway, let's wrap this boy up. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Sorry for our 1 week off time, but we're back and we gave you 2, so hopefully you'll be okay with us and happy with us, and you'll still forgive us for it. I mean, we just gave you 3.5 hours of content in 1 week, so I feel pretty good about that. The interview
came out last week too, didn't it?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, we skipped a whole week in there, but yeah, it was 2 weeks.
3 episodes in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I feel pretty good about that. So we'll be back on our regular scheduled timings in July, and we'll have more for you then. But until then, I am Jimmy, and I'm here with
Big Tasty Tony P.
Yeah.
Dave Baldwin.
He brought it back. I can't wait in 3 months when we listen to this episode again and be like, hey, remember that when that was a thing?
I'm so upset.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.